Welcome, everyone. It's Friday. How exciting, right? It is Friday and it is pitch black outside. The closet is open. Lil Bit is, I think he's asleep, but hey, I don't know. When I peeked in at him, I could just see his shadow. He's doing good. Um, Follow the trend or blaze your own trail. You see, the thing with us as people, we've been convinced that we should compete with someone. Outdo them, be better than them. I'm like, dude, be better than you, right? There's only one pattern that I'm aware of that we follow. Only one. And that is the one that Neville Goddard speaks about all the time. The pattern man. Jesus is the pattern. Not the person, the pattern. You notice how roses have a pattern, tomatoes have a pattern, oak trees have a pattern. Everything has a pattern. Man has a pattern. See? So it is either we follow the pattern, it unfolds naturally, or we do what everybody else is doing. Because everybody is doing it doesn't make it right or wrong. It just means that everybody is doing it. That's all it means. It doesn't mean that they're right or they're wrong. It just means that everybody is doing it. They are in the same mental state. Your mood, oh my God, here she goes again about the mood. Well, that is the most important thing. Everything that we do puts us in a mood, or the thing that we do is the result of a mood that we are already in. Right? If you pay attention, you will see it for yourself. And when you see it for yourself, yes, you will come to recognize that, oh my goodness, I am in control. I have a little post-it note on my computer at work, and it says, check your mood. So every time I look at it, I'm like, Angela, what mood are you in? And I check the mood, and then I put myself back in the mood that I determined to put myself in for that day. Right? This is an exercise that you can do. Why is this exercise important? Because if you are not the one setting your mood, well, then you're going to be following the trends that are out there. You'll be doing what everybody else is doing and having the same complaints as everybody else. They call it mass psychosis, mass mental state. Psycho just means mental. What's going on in the mind? It is the law of mentalism. What does the law of mentalism say? The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. You see, and as within, so without. Whatever you're feeling on the inside from that mental mood determines how you move. Oh, because it'll make you move from where you are to where you're going. Can't stand still, can you? No, we cannot. And from that movement of where you're starting out from to where you're going, you have a pattern, a way of doing things that is beautiful just unto you. Whether it is good, bad, or indifferent, it is your pattern. And that pattern will cause you to do something that brings about an effect. Every cause has its effect, but every effect has its cause. Why? Because you projected masculine. You projected. You said, I am. You projected it into the world. Thus, the echo came back and you had to be it. Feminine. The womb that accepts the mood and gives form to that invisible mood. So do you want to follow a trend? I don't know if you've ever done anything in the quote unquote manifestation community, but there's a lot of trends going on right now. You know, uh, $22.22, $2,200, $77, $97. They're doing all these kinds of marketing gimmicks. Why do they do marketing? To put you in a mood. And when somebody puts you in a mood, they have control over you. Because the mood is how you will act. Oh Lord, how many times? 70 times 7, Angela. 70 times 7. That's how many times I have to tell it to you. Not numerically speaking. Not numerically speaking, but to tell it to you every day, all day, until you start to live by it.
That's right.
Mm.
Angela, you love my food, my love.
Oh no. Is that better?
Yes, that's better. I didn't know if you was like getting dressed or whatnot. I was
Getting
like,
dressed. I'm sitting here just like you. It's just the way I had the phone propped up.
oh,
Thank you for
okay.
telling me.
You're welcome.
The other devices aren't though. But we tend to want to follow the trend. We just tend to want to do that because we see others doing it and it looks interesting. So we become curious and we follow. But one is meant to lead oneself. So whether you do affirmations, I am smart, I am funny, I am sweet. Hey, we do not just say idle words like the popular trend is to just say your affirmations robotically. Last I checked, you weren't a robot, so why would you do it robotically? You see, when you do an affirmation, we think an affirmation is just something fancy. No, an affirmation is whatever you say you are. You say, I'm so, as soon as you say it, you have affirmed it. So it is an affirmation. Whatever you say with conviction that you believe to be true is an affirmation. So do you follow the trend and just pretend and you're saying it with whatever kind of quote unquote feeling you want to say it with instead of being honest with yourself? Be honest at all times with yourself, with you, with you. Because the trend, you see, the trend is following the whims of man. When I say man, I mean human, man and woman. So today, if somebody feels me, or tomorrow, if they feel me, that's what their mood is going to go with. They allow their moods to follow what is on the outside. So you see, that's what makes the mood so fickle if you follow from the outside. Because then it's going to tell you, well, whatever your eyes see, whatever your ears may hear, whatever you smell, judge it and do it accordingly. No. You set the tone from within. Because as you and I know, any magician worth his salt, any hypnotist worth their salt can make you see things or hear things or even smell things that are not really there. They can deceive the senses. But you, if you use your senses to put your own self in the mood that you want to be in so that it becomes your reality, well, then you realize you're not pulled to and fro by the waves of living. You are firmly anchored yet free. What do you mean I'm anchored yet I'm free? You're anchored, so it means you're not going to veer off course. But you are free because you determined where to anchor yourself. You anchored yourself not as a trap. You didn't anchor yourself as a trap. You anchored yourself for security. And everybody wants security. And I know that some people say security is an illusion. But that depends on what you are securing yourself to. You secure yourself to the principles, mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, causation, gender. You anchor yourself to that? Well, then, it is unchanging. Those principles are unchanging. They are immutable. They remain the same. Well, scripture says, as long as the earth remains, there shall be seed time and harvest. What's that mean? It means that we will forever be planting, whether they be seeds or thoughts, and we will forever be reaping what we have planted. As long as the earth remains, there shall be seed time and harvest. Did you hear it? As long as the earth remains. And it's been here a long time. I can't tell you when it will end. I don't know when it ends, but I do know as long as it is here. You see, the principles put you in control of something, yourself right now. It tells you as long as it remains. So it removes speculation. So you don't have to follow a trend, because a trend will come and go, with the ebb and the flow of life. Rhythm, yes? But if you blaze your own trail, what are you doing? It means you have thought about who you want to be. You've felt a confirmation of who you say you want to be. You have affirmed it to yourself, and you just allow it to unfold. No fight, no fretting, no muss. Why? That simple scripture says, as long as the earth remains, here's what you can expect. It does not say to you, are you sure? It tells you what to expect. How do you know? If you don't believe in scripture, it is irrelevant. You don't have to believe in scripture, but observe what is around you. As long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest, yes, we're going to flow. Right now it's pitch black. What's that mean? Winter's coming. Every single year at this time, we get this. Longer days of darkness. So the night is longer, I should say, but it's still day. The night is darker for a lot longer. Why? Because of the season that we're in. You don't have to speculate. But what we do in this world is we argue and we debate over unknown things. The trend. You can't go to any room without having to debate who Jesus is, where he is, when he was born, who his mother is, what their lineage is, Hebrew Israelite, blah, blah, blah. Debate. You don't have to debate things. You observe and you go with what is known, right? Always go with what is known. Because from what is known is where your power is. You don't ever have to argue with anybody about anything or debate any single situation, because we don't have that information. But the information that we do have is, as long as the earth remains, there shall be seed time and harvest. That's what we know. Well, how do we know it? I'm sure somebody's pumpkins are coming in. Not just Starbucks. I'm sure that people's watermelons are coming in and they're picking their harvest. They're gearing up to pick that harvest. Whether the harvest is plentiful or few, it shows up at the same time, every time. And what would that do? Security. Not in the harvest, but security in the knowing that the harvest always comes. Do you see the difference? If you are secure in the harvest and the rain just happens to say, I'm going to feel like falling today, so I'm not. And if the rain doesn't fall, well, the harvest is impacted. Or if it rains too much, the harvest is also impacted. But do you know what is not impacted? The harvest itself. What do you mean? Harvest time always happens at the same time. That is where you put your confidence, in the knowing that the harvest will always come in, whether it be plentiful or whether it be few, or whether it does not show up, meaning something outside of your control, which is what? Weather, ebb and flow. But the harvest, on the other hand, always happens. So it is our, listen, if we didn't know that the harvest was going to happen, we would not plant. But we plant every year. So much so that we have the Farmer's Almanac telling us what? When is the best time to do something? How do they know the best time to do something? Observation. Because they know to watch for the time that something starts and when it ends. And so if we do that, you see where your confidence and your security comes from? Not whether or not it shows up, but that it has to show up, whether it be plentiful or whether it be few. So what does that mean for your real life experience? Well, let's unpack that in the next 3 minutes. It means, do you know what you want to eat? Well, this is why the farmer plants. He doesn't just plant because he's bored. He plants because, I have a taste for ... pickled beets. Oh, I have a taste for pickles. I have a taste for pickled onions. So he plants either onions, cucumbers, or beets, depending on what he feels like eating. Or in this case, how the world is trending, the farmer plants what pays most money. You see the trend? He's planting what pays the most money instead of planting according to taste. Why? If you plant according to taste, it is what you want. It is coming from within you. You're not manipulated. There's a difference. You plant according to what pays. Take the pay away, then you don't act. You are manipulated. Man pulled in a direction. So do you want to follow the trend and be pulled in any direction? Or do you want to be the one to set your own trend according to your palate, your taste, your desire? Oh, but Angela, the Buddhists say I shouldn't have a desire. Without desire, how will you plant? Without desire. Without desire. One must have desire. But you see, the thing is, we leave ourselves in the longing of the desire. That is what makes our life waste away, with the constant longing. However, if you know that the progress is this: I plant, I reap. So the desire is fulfilled. When you plant, let me tell you, when I first planted my ginger, I didn't see a lick for weeks. And I thought it was dead. Turns out your girl was just impatient. And there it is, growing. So it's not that the thing isn't there, that the desire isn't there. You planted it. So as long as you plant it, you must know you have to reap it. That is what you know. Remember, if it is plentiful or if it is few, it still shows. Here's the process, and then we'll get the bowl. You know what you want. And let no man tell you, well, you're reaching too high. That might not be, that's beyond you. What makes you think you deserve that? You know what? If you know what you want, hush your mouth. You don't have to speak for the spirit to hear, because it is the spirit that gives your ears the power to hear. Oh. So as long as you know what you want, hush. Spirit, as long as you know what you want and you thought about it, spirit knows. Oh, you planted the seed. So what do you know about planted seeds? You got to reap them. Now that's that smile of knowing that you get. Now you see how it feels in your body? So you're trying to tell me, Angela, that if I want this new job, yes. Do you know what the job is? You must know what it is. You must know what it is. But Angela, I just need to pay the bills. You must know what the job is that you want. Why? So you can plant the right seeds, so you can get the right harvest. What I just tell you, you don't just do because you need. Take the time to select what you want so that you get what you actually wanted, not what you've got to suffer through. You see, we can be impatient sometimes, but let me not digress. Step one, know what you want. Well, how do you get to step one? We start at zero. We know what we don't want. Don't judge it. What you don't want is showing you what you do want. And when you see what you want, how does it make you feel? You've planted the seed. Now go and live your day. Take out the garbage, sweep, vacuum, make your breakfast, do what needs to be done. Just go do it. And live, because the seed is now planted. And once the seed is planted, what do you know that happens? The inevitability of the harvest, whether it be plentiful or a few. The inevitability. As the Matrix, that, Mr. Anderson, is the sound of inevitability. Listen, anchor yourself in the knowing that as I think, therefore I, what? I am. Listen to it again. As I think, so as I do, you recognize something. Who's doing it? I am. You are always aware. So this morning, as you hear the bowl and possible bird song, I don't know if he'll crow. Whew. I mean, it is inevitable that he does crow, but I just don't know if it's right now. So when you hear the bowl this morning, select your mood and know within yourself that once a mood is selected, you will act according to it. Once you plant it, you shall reap it, as within, so without. It is the law of correspondence. So don't fret. You don't have to worry. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Is it here now? It's taking too long. You don't have to worry about that. You know that as long as you plant it, you have to reap it. That's what you know. That is what you know. And that is your affirmation. That is what you anchor yourself to. The truth of, I plant, I reap. So what am I going to plant? What am I going to plant? And you get into the mood of how that thing is that you have just planted. And all you're doing as any diligent farmer or gardener mentally is what? Just waiting for the harvest to come in. You're not hoping for the harvest. One never hopes for their harvest, honey. One knows that their harvest is inevitable. So today you can decide whether you want to follow the trend or blaze your own trail. You follow that trend, you're at its mercy. If it fails, you're in the dumps. If it succeeds, you're in the rafters. But either way, you are bent and shaped because of a trend. Never. You bend and shape yourself according to your own will. What does it say? Thy will be done. Whose? Thy will. Isn't that you? Last I checked, God was where? Within. The fact that I can talk, and I'm talking too much right now. Bull. The fact that you can speak and breathe and think. You think you are doing that? Go to a funeral. They're not doing it anymore. So what's not doing it? That is who you are. Not the body. You're just using the body as your tool. Anyway, let me get this bowl. Let me get this bowl, y'all. I trust it makes sense. Oh, oh, go ahead. Who talking?
I'm sorry. Oh, you are cooking with fire today. Oh my God. I needed this. Let's positively answer my eyes. Oh, I needed this. You have no idea. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to irritate.
That's okay. It's okay.
Oh my God, I needed this. I feel it so much in my spirit and my gut. Oh my God. I'm in tears. Like, I needed this. Like, y'all have no idea how much I need to hear that. And whew. Oh, God, to God be the glory. Bless you. To God bless you. Like, I need him, like, to continue to bless you. That is, oh man, cooking with fire. Like, I needed that. I needed that. I needed this. I'm ready for the bowls. Get the bowls out.
We love you, sweetie. We love you. And that's why we show up every day, because people are always calling and searching. And it is always here. One never has to look far for anything because it always is within. And so we love you. Let's get the bowl. Uh-oh. Are we going to have technical difficulties again today? YouTube has the bowl. YouTube has the bowl. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to mute YouTube because Before we do the countdown, my beautiful friends, let's say hello to everybody, shall we? Well, I know there's a couple people here on YouTube and Facebook, but they just haven't made themselves known in the chat. And Twitter, I closed Twitter because I needed water. But fan base, who's kicking it with us this morning? CM is here. Miss Crenshaw. Anthony, darling, I see you. Moon and Dolphin Duck are here. Maggie is here. Yes, beautiful. Miss Fawn is in the house. Terrell. Well, howdy, stranger. Afternoon Delight is kicking it with us. Happy is here too. Oh, honey. Matthias, Miss McQueen, KZ, Oracle Treehouse, and you know our ever resident Rooster is here. Lil Bit is in the house. Hey, baby. Anywho, thank you all for being here this glorious morning. Remember, tonight's lecture, I might move it to 10 p.m., instead of 10:45 p.m. I just might. Leave that with me over the weekend. I might ponder that so that people can get to bed a little bit earlier. But it is about the state of Paul. Remember, because characters in scripture are moods. They're states of mind. So we'll read about Paul tonight. But anywho, I'm coming, fan base. Let's do the countdown, but you know we're coming. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2. Little bit, do you want the last word or you good? 1. He left me on my own this morning. Well, I still love you. Peace out, YouTube, Facebook.